Hi guys, we are live from the Brojo, and we're about to review another Robro reviews. This week we're reviewing Happy Death Day.
Oh God.
I am Kien.
I'm Max.
Max, I'm a little upset that in the trailer they were playing 50 Cent's Go Shawty, It's Your Birthday.
Right?
And then in the movie they actually don't. And I was talking to you in the car, you want to know why they didn't do that? Because that royalty is fucking
It's expensive.
It's expensive, and Blumhouse only gives these directors $5 million.
Yep.
I was explaining to Max in the car before getting the review. Blumhouse is a weird, is a very prospering studio because of this. They give you $5 million, you can't go over budget. You can go under budget.
Oh yeah.
But you can't go over budget. So Blumhouse started with the Paranormal Activities movies, and that's always been their thing. So let's go into the review of Happy Death Day. A college student relives the day of her murder with both its unexpected details and terrifying end until she discovers her killer's identity. So what we have here, we're going to just talk about the main characters. The main character in this is Jessica Roth. She is playing Tree Gibbon. And then Israel Brassard playing Carter Davis. And then Ruby Modane playing Laurie Spengler. These are basically our main characters.
Yep.
But let's go into it. Max, what did you think about the movie?
Oh God. This movie was portrayed in the previews in a very different light than what we got.
Mm-hmm.
The previews were this is gonna be a jump scary kind of fucked up movie. The movie started off the first 15 minutes like that, and then just was nope, fuck it. We're doing a montage of her dying 30 times. I enjoyed that, but it was not what you walked in expecting to see.
I see, and I understand that. The thing about this movie is that it was very much marketed as a horror movie.
Yeah.
And in all reality, it is basically Groundhog's Day with a horror. They even reference it at the end.
Yeah.
This reminds me of Groundhog's Day. And that's what I think. That's what it should have played off of. Is that Groundhog's Day comedy with a little horror twist? Because I actually really enjoyed this movie a lot. I actually saw it twice. I went once with Max, and then I went once with Katie. And the difference between the viewings that I went with Max is that we had 6 people in the movie theater when we went to go see it for the pre-early screening, so it's the review screening.
Yeah.
That there was 6 people there, and there was just these fucking kids who would not shut the fuck up during the movie, and they weren't scared, they were just talking.
Yeah.
Whereas in the second screening I went to, it was the audience you were supposed to get to. This is a PG-13 horror movie.
Mm.
This is meant for
messing with kids.
It's meant for tweens, and there was a shit ton of tweens that were jumping, and they're oh man, oh, and they were laughing at the jokes that I personally did not laugh at because I didn't find them funny.
Right, we're sitting there being all adulty, and we're that's not even funny anymore. I just go on, keep going, and they're laughing their ass off.
And I'm no, that's perfect. This is the way I'm going to do this review is it's different than how I usually do a review. Usually when I review it, it's how I felt about it.
Yeah.
But the reason I'm probably going to even a higher rating than I think Max is because I'm putting it into the conclusion that this isn't the type of movie I enjoy or I want to see. But for me, I thought it was a really fun movie, and I like I said, I love the aspect of this movie is I like redeeming stories. She is a huge bitch in the beginning.
Oh yeah, she fucking sucks.
She is the worst person in the world. She calls people fat that's in her sorority. She's I'm not gonna eat cupcakes because of carbs.
And just fucking tosses it.
And she is just a huge asshole.
She is a cunt.
She's cheating on her professor.
No, she's not cheating on her professor. No. She's sleeping with her
professor who is married.
Yeah, who's married.
She is an awful human being.
Yeah, she sucks.
Which is redeeming at the end. That, like, I like that redeem. Like, I like that. Like, every time she dies, she realizes, like, man, I'm a piece of shit.
Yeah, she realizes a little bit more how much she fucking sucks.
And see, I like that aspect of the movie. Like, the writing is terrible, and a lot of the jokes are really, again, meant for young audiences.
It does it well though.
Yeah,
it hits the market it went for very well.
And I like, the one thing I really like is, like we were talking about, that montage scene is actually super interesting to me. I think it's super funny because throughout the montage scene, you find out things about other characters that helps her understand them as people.
Right.
Like the guy who confronts her.
Her creepy, not really stalker guy,
confronts her, has a secret that is really funny when you think about it, and like very understandable to why he's like being like this.
Right.
And so when you find out his secret and she opens up to him, it's really, really funny. And a lot of those scenes are like really hilarious. Like, all of her death scenes to me are funny and not scary. Like, when she's spying on the wife and she's getting drowned, like, she fucking tackles her.
Just fucking tackles her and just, like, right into the water. And you're like, oh, fuck, alright.
I don't know about you, but I was talking to Katie about this. Did you know who the killer was?
Yeah.
Okay, good. See,
the killer was really obvious by the first half hour of the movie.
I thought it was obvious. Thought it was obvious by that scene when she takes the car. That's all, like, I knew that the person was a killer, because they throw this red herring in the movie about like this certain thing.
Yeah.
And like, I was talking with Katie about it, and she's like, well, how come you didn't think so? I was like, because the person that they threw didn't really have an MO for blonde girls. Like, the person was like, spoiler alert, I'm just gonna say, there's a serial killer that is out on the loose.
Yeah.
That she thinks it's the person that's killing her, but unfortunately it's really not, because they throw that red herring out, and the reason I didn't think it was him is because the pictures they showed of the girls were different types of girls. Like, he didn't have an MO. It wasn't like a blonde girl from sorority.
He didn't have an MO. It's just he killed girls. So the fact that he was coming after her consistently, no matter what she did,
made no sense.
Was like, I instantly disregarded him. Because I was like, alright, they're playing this off that he's gonna be something, he's gonna be a part. I know it's not him, though, because that's too fucking obvious.
Right. And so, that was one of the things. The things I really liked was the camera shots that they had. Like, when she was disorientated, they had that disorientated camera angle.
Oh, yeah.
Or when she was freaking out, because, like, you're looking at her anxiety. You're like, I thought those were super interesting.
Yeah, they did it very well.
I like how it's filmed. I think it's filmed very... For what it was, for $5 million, it's filmed very well comparatively to things that I think get too much money and have really shoddy filmmaking throughout the movie.
I was gonna say, I've seen some really high budget crap ass movies.
Right. This is one of those things. Like, I want to go into the, like, talking about when we reviewed Wish Upon, which there's going to be a link down below because that movie just came out. I'm going to repost that link of, hey, Wish Upon just came out. But, like, the thing that didn't have that this had is that I don't think Wish Upon had heart to it.
Yeah, no, not really. There was a little bit of a love story and shit,
right.
But like the most heart Wish Upon had was between her and the dead chick in the beginning, her mom, who was dead throughout the entire movie.
Right, where this plays off a death of a family member really well, of like why she doesn't care about her birthday and shit like that. And like I think the love story of the love interest in this movie is not shoehorned, because like she has spent numerous times with him learning new things about this person to fall in love with him. It's not like, oh, I love you.
Yeah, it wasn't just like out of the blue, like within 2 days of she's like, I love him now. No, she actually spent a lot of time with him.
Yeah, it wasn't until the last half of the movie, like, because I don't think it wasn't love until something happens to the character that she has to go back to reverse. That like it didn't hit her. Yeah. So I find that, sorry.
Her redeeming the biggest redeeming factor was when she actually sacrifices herself to save her love interest that she like he dies and she's like, oh my god,
if I do this, he's not going to be alive. He's gone forever.
Yeah, I actually care for him. I need to kill myself to save him.
Right.
And you're like, oh shit, she's an actual person now.
Yeah, and I'm like, what? I find it also enjoyable that, like, my favorite scene of the movie is the worst scene of the movie is the dude's sex den. Welcome to the Pleasure Dome.
She's fucking just strobing out and dancing around. She's like, I don't know what the fuck is going on, but okay.
Which is also one of the most, like, for me, was one of the most, like, what the fuck, wow, that's messed up, but that actually happens in college fraternities, is the scene where the drunk guy comes in and she's screaming for help and all he's like, yeah! And then
just
walks
shuts
away.
the door and walks away.
And I'm just like, oh, yo, that's not cool.
Right?
That's not cool at all.
That was a harsh reality to everybody watching that, where you're like, oh, fuck, if things are going wrong, the drunk guy ain't gonna save your ass.
Yeah, if you're, like, in college and, you've seen this, like, it's like, it happens, like, it was a subtle, like, it wasn't, I don't think it was a subtle rape joke that was, like, a little fucked up, but you're like, that actually happened.
Yeah, it wasn't, like, it wasn't shoved down your throat that this is what happens, but they definitely were like, this happens.
A lot.
FYI.
Yeah.
And then that was it. They never touched on it again, and that's great, because they just, like, left the image in your head, and were like, you have that now, I don't need to fuck you with it.
Yeah. And so, like, and I also really like the sorority sister that's, like, Queen Bee bitch. And, yeah, it's super, she's funny to me. Like, I think she's an enjoyable, because I hate her. Max knows this. When I went to college, I hated, like, fraternities and sororities. Not because, like, I was, like, fat and, like, you know, like, they don't accept me. Like, I just found them to be annoying.
They fucking...
They
suck as, like, people.
Like, no, I know a few sorority girls that, like, went to smaller colleges that are super cool. Like, I'm really good friends with one. But, like, in bigger campuses, yeah, they suck. They really are terrible. Like, they're not terrible people, but, like, I find them to be annoying.
They're not great people.
Right. One of my old managers used to say, like, if you're in a fraternity, you're two of three things: rich, gay, or angry.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's basically how I felt. So, like, there was that. But the thing that, like, because I saw it twice, I saw a lot of things that I missed out in the first viewing of the movie. So this movie is actually, like, if you rent it or you buy it, you watch it numerous times.
Watch it a couple times. Yeah. There are things you will notice.
Right, like, because I didn't notice, like, one of the things I totally didn't notice is that, like, when she first threw away the cupcake, there's the card.
Yeah, the black card sitting right there.
And, like, I had no idea about that. And, like, there were certain things that I picked up on that I didn't pick up on the first time.
The montage actually has a couple things in it, too, where you notice people's going about their daily lifestyle before she even tries to make them as killers.
Right.
And you're like, they're already out of the picture, but she's not even noticing this shit.
Right. Of, like, who could be the serial killer. So and that's what I find enjoyable about this movie. Like I said, the things I don't like is, again, I don't like the comedy in it. I don't like I don't like the dialogue in it. I thought the dialogue was dumb. But it's also very real dialogue, and that's why I kind of hate it.
It was very real. It was college dialogue directed towards 15-year-olds.
Yeah. So, and again, that I really hated, because I just kind of got sick of it, is the replaying of the same scenes over and over again. I know it's not, that's what it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be a replay of the same thing. Like, I get that 100%. I understand that. I do. But, like, after hearing that Asian dude, like, did you get that sweet badge? Like, no, I'm done. I'm done with him saying, like, way to go, dickhead. I'm like, all these, like, one-liners that I have heard every time. I just got really, like, it gets annoying.
Oh, yeah.
And I think that, like, to be fair to point out, that's what got annoying in Groundhog's Day. I fucking hate it. I fucking hate, like, I know it's supposed to be part of the plot. If you're, like, redoing your day, it's a do-over thing. I get that, but, like, it does. It gets very jarring when you know they're going to say the same thing over and over again.
I personally believe that's actually what makes this so fucked up, is you'll wake up in the morning and have the same exact fucking shit happen. It'll become irritating. You'll be pissed.
And she felt it. Like, I felt what she felt. Like, I was getting sick of it too. I'm like, dude, just find the fucking killer. Like, it's interesting. Like, I love your interesting montage scenes. One thing I didn't point out is that I found super interesting is that, like, it's not really played off very much, but it's played off in one death. Is that, like, every time she dies, she's dying.
Yeah.
She keeps the internal injuries.
Yeah, she's keeping the scarring, and like it basically doesn't kill her. It just forms scar tissue of how she died.
Right. And I found that to be an interesting concept.
Right?
Like you would never see that in one of these horror movies.
Right? No, like in Groundhog's Day, if he fucking killed himself, he'd wake up the next day and be totally fine. No, in this movie, she's actually getting progressively more and more fucked every day. Like by the end of the movie, she has a hard time standing. She can't really see straight. She's like uncoordinated at times.
Right, and I found that to be an interesting part. Like I said, a lot of the red herrings are kind of just like, fine, whatever. That's fine. Like, oh, he might be it, they might be it. And I'm like, I knew right away.
Yeah, if it wasn't obvious, but if you're somebody who like watches mystery movies or shit like this, you'll get it really quickly.
Right. And like I said, Katie didn't get it right away. Katie really thought it was that killer, and I'm like, that's very understandable. Like,
right?
Like everyone is like, no one like I have made this point. We go through a lot of shitty movies when we do reviews. I get the short end of the stick a lot because a lot of people are not willing to go to these bad movies. So I will go to these bad movies and I will watch them with a frown on my face. This movie I thought was going to be super shitty. I actually really enjoyed. Like, I had a lot of fun with this movie.
It did a lot better than I thought it would walking into it.
Like, and so we'll just go to our ratings. I really think this movie, like, I was leaning towards meh, but as I was talking about it and how much I had a lot of fun with it, and, like, it also works well, and for me, it also, the second time around, I had a lot of fun with it because I was with a crowd that was actually enjoying the movie. I give it a dope. I find it to be fun. Like, I really enjoy this movie a lot. Like, not like it's not like a great piece of cinema, but the things that they do with the movie and how they do it is, I find that super interesting. Is it a scary movie? No. It's a horror comedy. So don't come in being like, I'm going to be terrified. Because there was one jump scare that got me, and it was the first jump scare of the movie.
Yeah, that was basically the only jump scare of the movie. The rest of them are very, well, you're like,
It's like, the jump scare isn't a jump scare. It's supposed to be for comedic effect that, like, the killer shows up and murders her.
Yeah.
That's why.
Yeah. So, I'm going to give it a mid-dope, leaning more towards meh.
Right.
But, like, it's a solid movie.
Right.
It is sure as fuck is not going to go down in, like, cinema history or anything like that. This movie is going to disappear off the face of the planet within 2 years.
No, it's going to get a sequel. It's going to get a Happy Death Day 2. And she's going to, like, relive Christmas or something. You can't tell me. Like I told Max, like, there's an Unfriended sequel that got made because Unfriended made that much money.
Yeah.
There's going to be a Happy Death Day 2. I don't know what it is going to be. But maybe it's going to be like Merry Kilmas or something like that.
I got it. She's going to relive the day before her wedding.
Oh my god, how awesome would that be?
She can never make it to her wedding.
Right, like, it's like...
She's not even being murdered. She just falls asleep and wakes up the day before. She's
Deading.
like, fuck!
Just you wait, 2 years, we're going to have Deading Day.
And it's going to be great.
Yes. So that's been our review. I'm Kien.
I'm Max.
Have a good one.